Hayat Hotep, Hetep Poop, how do you do, and greetings, all that. So as you can see, like I always say, from the nothing comes the absolute. I've been busy, I guess, for the last, it's been taking me about 2 days. Some of that stuff was in there. I got that aluminum still in there from that one pickup that I did back. I haven't did anything with that yet. But I'm getting ready to pretty much turn this stuff into money. You know how it go. I kind of really got bugged out of shape about what I was mentioning to you guys with the court system and everything. It's really a waste of my time to keep going down there. It's unpleasant. I've been embarrassed. I'm treated like shit. You know, it's like, fuck them. I mean, I want to tell you the truth. I have to go into court and sit up in there and they all want to walk around like they so high and mighty above everybody, and I can look at them and see they are the biggest criminals of all. They use fear tactics and taking your privilege and freedom away from you by threatening you to lock you up in their prisons and their jail cells if you don't be in compliance with them. They actually force you to sign paperwork while you're in there, or they will stagnate your progress of it. They make you feel like by cooperating with them you can make them go away more quicker, but in actuality what they want by your signatures is by you signing your name on there. That's by you really accepting the name that they give to you. By you signing your name on there, that make you be a person that is answering to the title of ownership that was given to you by your corrupt prison system known as the United States of America. Now, I want you to listen real carefully, and I'm going to explain to you how that works. See, nothing can exist in this realm of time and space without having a name. That's a universal principle. That's the reason why the Bible, as misleading as it is, demonstrates the fact that Adam was given the job of giving everything names. Now, this is synonymous with Adam also being the person that was told or mentioned to be the person that the earth was also given to for him to be responsible. Anytime someone leaves you as the responsible person of something, pretty much they gave you ownership of whatever the object is that you're left responsible for. To prove that to you, if something happens to it, you will be the person that gets blamed for whatever goes wrong. So that's the reason why you should treat it as if it's your own merchandise and be as responsible for anything as if it was yours, if it's under your responsible care. Okay? So, the name Paul Shields is the name that was given to me by my mother, who had a name that was given to her by her mother. And if I keep going there by ever and father by ever, eventually we'll get down to the fact that the names that was given to my nationality of people by God was eradicated, destroyed, done away with, and replaced with the names that was given to us as ownership names by our European, I'm not even going to call them conquerors because I don't think they conquered anything. I'm going to just call them the European devils or enemy of my nation. And the enemy personifications that is still practicing their wickedness on the earth now under disguise of a criminal court system is the persons I'm talking about. So if we eradicate names, let's deal with entities. The entity known as the judicial court systems of the day, especially in the Americas, is linked back to the slave pirates that came across the ocean with stolen cargo contraband of men, women, and children, if you will. These same people are still at work. And one of the methods of continuation of their work is the continuation of ownership through name assignment. Okay? Here's the deal. First thing the police ask you for if you pull it over is what? ID. Right? What is on the ID? Your picture and your name. And the state that gave you that ID. This is how that works. Excuse me. Your name, most of the time, especially if it's a name that's not synonymous with your physical personification, is like a ID tag that you would see on a product that's being sold. Like for instance, a Magnavox TV, it might be a Magnavox CXL 1700. The main thing you're gonna see is Magnavox. That CXL 1700 will be small print, but big print will be Magnavox. Okay, the name Paul Shields is synonymous with Magnavox. All my characteristics and everything else, like me being black and stuff like that, comes secondary. Because the name Paul Shields would not cause a second reaction if it was on the personification of a white man. But when I go into a court system and the name Paul Shields is on my black face, you better believe the white judge is going to see things totally different than the name placement changes the value of the name. If you understand what I mean, let me break it down to you. Paul Shields is a European name. It would make totally good sense for it to be on a European male. Paul Shields is not an ancient Kemetic name, nor is it a Kebalan name, nor is it Ethiopian, or any of those names. It is European. So why is it my name? We all know why. It's because of the slavery story. So when I show up in court today, 700 years after everybody believes slavery is over, but I still am attached to a slavery name, then it makes you wonder. You understand? So, when I willingly sign a court document using a name that I know is not my name, then guess what? Me and the court both just committed a crime. And the reason why is because the judge himself knows that that is not my name, and I myself knows that is not my name. So that makes the court a fraud, and that makes me a fraud. But everything is set up in this world on the secondary holographic scale as to where even though we know shit is fraudulent, we have no choice but to play the game. Now let me break some down to you. Let me show you what happened. A lady said that I stole something. Okay, cool. Only problem is a police showed up at my house, talked to me, and then used the information that I gave him to build a case on me. He built a case on me off legitimate truth information that I gave him. There was nothing involved with that should make me be going through all this shit. But him, being the trained individual that he is to go out on reconnaissances, seek and destroy missions, he's real good at his job. He did what he did. Only problem is, I'm combating it. I'm going right in their face saying, bullshit. It didn't happen. What happened was, he brought his ass over there, still made a stereotype profile on me, jealous as fuck because he see me, he was following. I told him he used to follow me around in his private vehicle. They know all that. Then he see me getting my thing done, disturbs him so much because here's a black man out here enterprising. You guys see it yourself. And it's no different than that big ass scrapyard that I go in itself. I'm doing it on the micro scale. But guess what? It gives me a job where I have no boss and all that stuff. He's jealous of that. That's the whole thing. He's jealous of that shit. So he takes his ass, and with malicious conduct, he used his privilege as a police officer and teamed up with a private citizen. You all know the story. I ain't gonna waste time on that again. But believe it or not, behind all this bullshit, I'm still stuck in this court, going through this shit. I've been to court already 4 times. That's 4 days of having to sacrifice my time and my energies to be embarrassed, to be down there and listen to these prosecutors bullshit. They had the nerve to tell me to take a deal. And I wanted to tell that motherfucker, how about this? How about you cut your motherfucking head off and stick it up your ass? And excuse my language, but the nerve of them to have a power structure set up where they will know a 52-year-old man without no criminal history at all and a weak charge like this should be something that you use every ounce of energy to investigate before you come at this man and try to tarnish him in his senior years, and with all the good effort that is obvious he's put out to keep everything clear and avoid danger of getting in the criminal system, and pulled it off successfully, obviously, because how could I not? And then here they come with this shit, and then it have to be a fucking lawnmower theft. Like, I'm that weak. But now the court system, the fire department, everything, all this drag. But I want to point that out to you because you guys see what I've been doing. I even take you out with me in the truck and show you why I don't have no reason to steal anything. But now when I was sitting up in the court, when I came back in, I was mad because they still procrastinating and prolonging it and driving me crazy and making money off of me. Every time they show up in court, the way they justify showing up is by having people like me on their freaking manifest for petty bullshit like that. And that's the reason why some policemen are actually revered for going out to do the extra mile. You know, that's the reason why he's so gung-ho, to get me caught up in all this shit. All right, now I got money in there. I done worked my ass off, all legit. Ain't had to steal a damn thing. But I still got to go see the corrupt judge and all them dirty, scoundrel, reptilian prosecutors that don't have time to do nothing but build the freaking jails that they actually charge you after they force you to live in. I remember when they illegally incarcerated my ass once in Ohio. When I went into the jail system, I had about $80 in my pocket. They actually pulled me out of my my semi truck. I was a truck driver. I had just me and this white guy in Ohio. I had talked it over. I worked for this trucking company. I proved myself to that company that I was dedicated to go the extra mile. So the company actually brought a truck for me. I'm going to tell you guys, this is no lie. The company had so much faith in me. I had worked for them for about 15 months and I had pulled everything off. They knew I was an outstanding driver. They knew I was qualified, dedicated, everything that was necessary. I possessed it. So these guys go out on the limb for me. White guys, let me add that, some white guys. The poor man, I used to love that man. They just screwed everything up. He was an old guy too. I ain't gonna say his name because you know that wouldn't be right. But this happened in Columbus, Ohio. That's one of the reasons why I tell you guys I do have a problem with that place, and not the whole state, just two regions. Just two regions. I'm gonna tell you guys why. Okay, I had lived in, well, before I go there with all that, let me tell you, this guy went on the line, him and some more people. They saw my work efforts. They knew that they were paying me, I think, $15 an hour. All right, that was his averaging out to. They gave me an opportunity to move up. They was like, we like your hustle. We got a new contract where we need a dedicated driver to go out. Sometimes stay on 12 days. If you think you could pull that off, we're going to buy the tractor. The tractor going to be yours after 16 months. We guarantee you freight. We guarantee you work. Once you sign a contract, you got to run 60 hours a week. You got to this. You got all of this shit was all wrote down. Me and this dude set everything up. He get the truck. I'm all happy. You know what I'm saying? I got a new truck. It's like a Volvo. It's all nice and shit. Big, beautiful white truck. I'm flying down the highway going to Chicago, Pittsburgh, New York, down to Virginia. I'm just having a good old time. You know what I'm saying? Making chips too. Shit. These racist bastards, just because they can make money by incarcerating people and flying them around the planet, they got a system where every state they take you through on a plane, they can make money off of that. So these prosecuting teams makes money for the states by trying to extradite people on bogus charges. Like if they know that you out of state and you got some shit pending that otherwise wouldn't be nothing worth doing anything about, the fact that they can make money by going through all the procedures of buying plane tickets and sending police here and all that. Well, we had to send 2 deputies over there to get him and woo woo woo. And so what they do is they extract money for their little small sectors that they live in. Like for instance, you can have a state that have 4 federal penitentiaries in it. Those federal penitentiaries will be way away from the city that the criminals live in. Like for instance, the criminals be all harassed and round up in LA, but the federal penitentiaries be far away in some little quiet area up in the mountains where really rich people live around.